Good afternoon. It's so nice to have you with us. Today we have Inge van der Merwe. Inge, it's amazing to have you as our facilitator for this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda, and thank you that I could be part of this journey with Brightstar. Today's topic I chose specifically because I work in the financial industry for the past 14 years already, and I've seen how people that are in relationships struggle when it comes to debt. So I'm going to touch a couple of things, and then afterwards you guys can ask me questions if there's anything that you would like to know more about. So the topic is until death us do part, and not death. So debt can not only destroy a relationship, it can leave you more indebted when you break up. So here's why and how to prevent that from happening to you. So you can be held responsible for another person's debt if you are married in community of property, or if you are in a recognized customary or religious marriage or a civil partnership without any formal contract, which is then regarded as being in community of property, or if you are living together and have a cohabitation agreement that stipulates that you are jointly and severally liable for the debts that you have entered into. So you don't have to be married, but if there is an agreement that says, because you both use the debt and it's in the same household, that both of you would be jointly liable. So then on a breakup, you could be held liable. You are also liable for debt that you sign surety for or as a guarantee. For example, your partner's student loan. If they can't pay it, then you will be held responsible, even if the relationship falls apart, you will still be liable. Then you will not be held accountable for somebody else's debt if you are married out of community of property, with or without the accrual system, or if you are living together and you have a cohabitation agreement that stipulates your debt is independently held, or in the event of a death, and this is quite an interesting one, the debts will be dealt with in the estate by an executor, and for all purposes you are debt-free if you were married in community of property. So just to explain that quickly, you were married in community of property, one spouse passes away, that the marriage contract ends at that stage, as well as any debts that you had jointly together. It will go into the estate. If there is enough money in the estate that will deal with the debts to payment, so that means that there was not enough funds available in the estate, then the debts will be the estate will be liquidated. It will be, but they won't hold you responsible because the marriage contract also ended at that stage. Then, as a couple, you need to decide on the formal status of your relationship and how you will deal with money and your debt in particular in your relationship. And this is important, especially also if you have younger people in your house, young adults that are entering into relationships. It's not just moonshine and roses and there we go, and it's all hunky-dory. When they actually start making a formal decision to be in a relationship, or they live together, or they must address the money issue early on. So what can you do? One of the serious things is you can change your marriage contract, which is a very expensive process, and we don't really want to go there. So say, for example, if you were married in community of property, you can then change it to an antenuptial contract, but that's very expensive and it's a drawn out process. So we have to do it right from the start. Or you can review or draw up a cohabitation agreement to include financial agreements and decisions and liabilities. And there you say, we will hold everything separately, or it's going to be joint decisions and liabilities. And then include your financial liability and indemnities in your divorce agreement. If you are concerned about any debt issues, seek professional help when you divorce to make sure you don't end up paying your ex's debts. And I see that so often with people, especially, I don't know how it happens, but more women that get stuck with the debts of the ex-husband for some reason, and then they struggle because there was nothing put into place professionally. So it's a serious thing when you get divorced. How will you deal with the debts that you jointly applied for? Okay, so some tips on how to deal with your money and your debt on a day-to-day basis in your relationship. So have a formal money discussion at least once a month. Discuss what income, debts, assets you own, how you will manage your money during the month. You can also use this time to budget and track your budget. It's always good to sit together and discuss your finances at least once a month so that everyone knows where we are. Have a formal debt discussion once a month if you do have debts. You should agree on how you would like to use debt. Avoid using debt for daily living expenses, but use debt to buy long-term assets such as property. Please try as far as you can to get away from store cards and buying groceries on debt and so on. Use your credit cards wisely. Don't use it for daily living expenses. Use it for other things like buying an airplane ticket or something with, it's different, but not for food and so on. Then review your debt repayments and your interest rates. Doing this once a month will allow you to quickly see if debt is in or out of control. So look at the debts that you have accumulated, both of you. Which ones have got the highest interest rates? Which ones can we tackle to start paying off? Pay a little extra on. What can we do so that we can get out of the debt trap? And then do money activities together. Take a financial education course together to help you become better money managers. And Brightstar has got a financial workshop that can help you quite a lot. Then the next one is set financial goals together and work out how you can achieve them. We can't work without goals. I see it all the time. Young people, they get an income all of a sudden and it's just spending. And by the 15th of the month or whatever, the money is gone. And yeah, but I still wanted to do that. I want to plan for a holiday in December. When do you want to start planning? On the 1st of December? That's not going to help. So sit and talk about what we would like to achieve. What do we want to do in our homes? Do we need a new TV? What's the thing? But do it together and start planning in advance. Share financial applications, decisions, and information. That's a difficult one. Not everyone wants to share their financial info with a spouse. But it is actually important that your spouse also needs to know, what do you earn, what do you spend money on, and that will happen when we sit together. So pay slips, statements for bank accounts, credit cards, store cards, vehicle finance. I actually spoke to a lady the other day, and her husband is a doctor and she's not working, and she said to me, "Oh, I've got no idea what the finances are in our house. My husband deals with everything." So I thought to myself, we are in an enlightened area, space. You need to know what will happen if your husband passes away. How will you know where to start? Looking for what? You're not guaranteed of tomorrow. We need to be part of one another's decisions. Okay, you don't have to share passwords, but when you are logged in, share the information with your partner and ask them to share their information also. And then watch out for warning signs. Definitely, requests for loans, spending more than before, or spending nothing at all, or hiding emails, phone calls, can be all warning signs that debt is out of control and the creditors are demanding payments. Don't avoid confrontation if you suspect something is amiss. Say, what can we do? How can we deal with this? Remember, it's for better or worse. We have to do things together. And then some more tips. Get help as soon as possible. If you suspect there is a problem or you have become over indebted, get help. Set up a debt plan, chat to a financial advisor, a money coach, a lawyer, a debt counselor for assistance. And then keep it cautious and objective. Avoid judging your partner or yourself for taking on debt. You know, sometimes we did things wrong. Now we want to make it right. So let's stick together and let's do it. Stick to the facts. Look for solutions. It's much more helpful and constructive than the blame and shame game. It's going to help no one. So don't be broke and heartbroken. Say yes to joy.
Wow, thank you, Inge, for great, very practical tips.